Hi, my name is Fabiano. I'm from Santa Rosa, California, and I'm currently serving as a Peace Corps response volunteer here in Panama. My original Peace Corps service was also here in Panama from 2009 to 2011, and now I'm here with Peace Corps Response working with Special Olympics as a volunteer coordinator. The main focus of my job was primarily in preparation for the second Central American and Caribbean Games to recruit 1,700 volunteers at least to serve as volunteers during these international games. What this meant was that my counterparts and myself had to go to high schools around Panama City and also to local businesses and government organizations and give presentations to recruit volunteers. I remember during my original service having to give presentations introducing myself in Spanish in front of 30 indigenous villagers, and oddly enough I felt strangely prepared standing up in front of 400 inner-city high school students giving the same auto presentation in Spanish that I had gotten so accustomed to. In addition to Panamanian volunteers, part of my job was also to organize and train a group of 35 Peace Corps volunteers to serve as team leaders of the different high school volunteers that we had. My best moment during my service would have to be at the end of the games that we worked. In the soccer competitions, after having spent so much time with the different soccer players from all the different countries, especially the Panamanian team that I got to know very well, watching the final games and having all the volunteers that we had trained cheering on the athletes, and the final games felt so huge, and I remember there was a moment where my friends and I felt like we were watching the World Cup because it was such a special moment for the athletes. I think we'd be getting to know all the different families, especially from the different Panamanian teams. I grew up in a household where my father was physically disabled, and so seeing the network of support that the families have for each other was just something very special to me, and it made me feel proud to be part of something like that. I'm going to take home a wealth of experiences from this Peace Corps response assignment. In part, the experience of getting to work with an NGO that works internationally, that has so many levels of organization, and getting to see how that organization works from each level, whether it's at a local level in a small town, getting to help out at local competitions, up to the international competitions where we have teams flying in from all over the world. I now feel more confident, I think, in myself as far as coordinating and training others. And I could see myself someday in the future continuing with Special Olympics, maybe as a coach and definitely as a volunteer. Seeing the people going out and the different families volunteering each weekend at practices and at smaller competitions, it's really something that's inspiring to me. We decided that each year we're going to elect a different volunteer to be the Special Olympics activities coordinator on the part of Peace Corps, so that after I'm gone, the relationship between Special Olympics and Peace Corps Panama can continue, and that volunteers can continue to get involved in local programs and in starting up teams in their communities, and also encouraging people from their communities to be volunteers. So thank you for allowing me to share my experiences with you, and I look forward to hearing your questions.